Hello, this is News.Markets. October has a special place in finance known as the October effect and can be one of the most feared months in the business calendar. From the panic of 1907 to the crash in 1929 and Black Monday in 1987, it all happened in October. 2015 saw the major stock markets trading near record highs thanks to China announcing new stimulus measures and fading expectations for a US rate hike. So how did October 2015 shape up for investors? Well, Andy Parsons, Head of Investment Research at the Share Centre, has examined the top traded funds for October, and he's here now. Thanks for coming in. Look, what are the overall trends that you've seen this month?
Well, there's a strong presence of UK, a little bit of global exposure, and there's a little bit of sectorial exposure in there as well. But investors have definitely started to come back to the markets.
If we take a look at number one, though, 5th month running, it's Neil Woodfords fund. Number 3, we've also got
Smith, yes.
Terry Smith.
Yeah.
OK, how much of this is about the cult of the personality, the name behind the fund?
There are an awful lot of investors that do like to follow a lead star manager, and Neil and Terry have been in the industry a long time. And what they generally give investors is a little bit of comfort, a reassurance of how they manage money, and they will have been through turbulent times in the past. So that investors just have that comfort. It's like I call it a comfort blanket. They know what they're going to get from those type of managers. But
if you look at Woodford funds, I mean that's quite an exciting story, isn't it? Because that only was launched last summer. And you think it's really got investors excited? It
has. It's a real blend. You've got this core nucleus of UK blue chips, a few international type pharmaceutical companies. But more importantly, Neil likes to find tomorrow's emerging business, embryonic businesses that are in their development stage, and helping develop them and bring them along by some capital investment into them. Many businesses people won't have heard of. They'll look at the names on fact sheets and think, who are they? But Neil will have done his huge due diligence with his team, and they are the exciting opportunities. That's what gives you the fantastic capital growth while you've got the income from the big blue chips at the top.
But what could go wrong? I mean, you can't help thinking of Warren Buffett famously saying that he made a big mistake in investing in Tesco.
Yeah, unfortunately for investors and for fund managers, there always is potentially a headwind like car crash, on the horizon. We always sadly see it over time that a major corporate has some form of issue with a product or a service, and we've seen the Volkswagen scandal recently, and unfortunately funds will have these type of holdings, not the ones like Neil, etc. But what you do tend to find is that for fund managers, it's about due diligence and just trying to be as sure as much as they can when they make that investment, they know as much about the business as is possible. OK,
so that's the fund manager behind the fund. What about any sector trends that you've seen? Any specific ones standing out?
There's a couple of there's a really exciting one again. I'm passionate about this one. It's medical and healthcare, biotechnology and healthcare. And this is the evolution of where we are in the development of diseases, infections, and where we're going with it. So investors like to look at this sector. This is a sector that has been buoyed over the last few years by a lot of M&A. There's huge drug advancements. Genomes, or the cost of the genome, has come down, the analysis of it. So what you're looking at there is drug invention, treatments, cures, and the technological advancements that take place in that analysis.
So funds that stock pick in those spheres are the ones that are doing well. Also interesting to look at, we've got one fund that fell off your top 10. They're back in now. What happened? Why did they fall out? Why are they back?
Yeah, the Mutant Asian Income. It's in at number 9. This is a fund that had a lead star manager, and this is an interesting time for investors when lead star managers leave investment houses or leave a fund behind. And that was managed by Jason Pidcock. He's left, and it's gone from a manager, or a single identifiable manager, to a more collective team approach of management. So that fund's been sort of off the radar for investors, and it's a natural thing. People can look back at a time when managers have left other star funds, and you suddenly find there may be a little bit of dip, some assets taken away because they will follow the manager, but then they come back because the actual story, Asia as an income-producing region, is still very, very popular.
So that one's about the region, that Asia is doing well. But it's interesting, if you look at all your top 10, there are some big personalities in there, even number 10. That's also one of those.
Exactly. That's Neil's old fund, Invesco Perpetual High Income. So there are some big names and big players, but there's some exciting ones. I would pull out something like the CF Miton UK Value Opportunities. I see those as the two managers, George and Georgina. They are tomorrow's rising stars, as I see them.
And that's what you're looking for, tomorrow's riding stars.
Exactly.
Well, Andy Parsons from the Share Centre, thanks ever so much. And I'll leave you with a final look at the top traded funds for October.